Hi, my name is Marin, and this is Post-its and Pens. Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. My name is Marin, and this is my very first week in my teacher life. I am a kindergarten teacher, and I thought I would take you along this week to show you what it's like in the COVID era when I am concurrently teaching. So that means that I have in-person students and virtual students at the same time. So it's been a very interesting year, and I will kind of talk a little bit more about that as we go along this week. But first, I figured I would go ahead and show you what we're going to do today so that you can learn if you're interested, but also so I can refresh my own memory because I did this the Friday before spring break and don't really remember what it is that I planned. So here we go. Okay, so I figured I'd show you a little bit more close up of what we're doing today. So we have our social studies that we're going to be working on this week. We have some math facts practice. We have a sight word practice sheet. And then for reading, we are going to be going through the book, How I Stay Safe at School. And this is from Alyssa Christine. It came in a COVID-19 back to school packet on TPT. So that is our papers for today that we're going to go through. I also have some questions here that kind of just reinforce mask wearing and being safe at school. So just kind of as some background information, I guess. My district has been virtual pretty much the entire year up until March 29th. So at that point in time, the students who chose in person returned to school. I had them for 3 days. We were all virtual on Thursday, and then they were off Friday because we had spring break last week. So I have only had my in-person students for 3 days, and it has definitely been interesting and challenging, but also a lot of fun. So I figured I would kind of show you what a day in a concurrent teacher's life is like. So I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, I am currently on my lunch for about 1 more minute. I'm going to head out and get my kiddos here, and then we're going to head into the afternoon. We had a really great morning, so hopefully that continues. I will check in with you all later. Right? Go away.
I made a hammer elevator.
Oh. the end of the day. Sorry if I'm looking a little rough. It's a very long day. We are in school from 9:05 until 4:10, and it usually takes until at least 4:30 to do our dismissals. So it is currently 4:45, and I am getting ready to head home. So we had a good day today. My students are doing a surprisingly good job adjusting to being in person, mostly because they're just excited to be here, which makes me really happy. But it is definitely a challenge to have virtual and in person at the same time, but we are making the best of it. So I will end the vlog for today. I am going to go home. I'm going to do a little reading. I am currently working on So You Want to Talk About Race. I'm not very far in yet, just still on chapter 1. So I'd like to do about an hour of reading on that, and then maybe just watch some mindless TV and relax. So I will see you tomorrow. Good morning and happy Tuesday. I am at school. I've already gotten several things accomplished this morning, just kind of general everyday things like emptying out their water bottles, moving the trash can for breakfast and lunch because we eat in our classrooms, that kind of thing. So I will take you through what we're going to do today, and I'll also show you just a quick skim through of my daily slides. They don't change a whole lot each day, but when we were virtual, that is obviously the best way that I found to teach. And since I still have 4 students who are virtual, we're going to continue using the same method so that it makes the transition a little bit easier. So here those are. Okay, so here's our slides for today. So I start every day with a timer. This lets my students know how much longer they have to finish breakfast, and it also lets my virtual students know when class will officially be starting. We go through our supplies. So as you can see, we use Eureka Math. So there are 2 workbooks. So this just tells the students which books they need. We listen to a story. My in-person students finish breakfast during this time. And then I have this slide, and the arrow will move throughout the day just to kind of show them where we are in the day. It helps cut off the questions of how much longer do we have or when does school get over. We listen to Jack Hartman. They love Jack Hartman. We do my morning message. We listen to our administration's morning message. We talk about our student of the week, which is just a student who's been showing our expectations. We do our days of the week and months of the year songs and our calendar. We do our days that we've been in school. And then we have a story that we've been listening to that just kind of reinforces our second step lessons, but also kind of talks about things that they need now that we're back in person. So this is the one we're listening to today. We go through our rules for our virtual and our in-person students, our building expectations. And then we have several timers that look like this throughout the day to give our students breaks. My students in person and my virtual students take breaks at the same time. We listen to some counting videos, and then we start our math lesson. My virtual students typically will get on Imagine Math, and then now I'm using that time to kind of go over in-school expectations while the virtual students are engaged. We do a brain break. These are our two favorites right now, so we kind of go back and forth between the two. Then we have been starting opinion writing, so I've been using this to help them figure out what an opinion means, and we've been using them for sentence stems, which look something like this. We are going to be reading one of Simply Kinder's sight word books for reading this week because we're not doing our curriculum. We're just still kind of getting them used to school. We have our sight word video. We do another little brain break. And then it is lunchtime. So this is more for my virtual students. My in-person students will go use the restroom and make sure our hands are washed and things before lunch. So we come back at 1 o'clock. And then we're doing social studies. We use Studies Weekly. And we're talking about maps. Then we have some handwriting. And then I've been having them get on their Imagine Language and Literacy. We call it our Blue Robot. This I will sometimes use again just to go over rules and things for my in-person students while my virtual students work on their Blue Robot. We do another brain break, take a restroom break. We do our question of the day. I go through what my virtual students might need to do after they get off Zoom. And then this timer is for them. So my in-person students have recess at this time. So I set this timer and I tell my virtual students that when it goes off, they will need to head to specials. So we have library today. And then we come back and it is the end of the day. Okay, and then our papers for today, for my in-person kiddos, we're going to do just another review of how to stay safe at school. This came from that same COVID-19 packet that I was talking about yesterday. I will leave a link down below in the description box in case you're interested. This is the sight word book from Simply Kinder. We are going to do the back side of the sight word sheet that we did yesterday. These are a freebie from Tara West. And then we will do the next part of our social studies or our studies weekly. So that's kind of a quick overview of the papers. We also have math, but again, those are in our workbooks. So I don't have any papers for that. Hello, I am currently on my planning. It's 3:23. My students only have about 20 more minutes though because we're starting dismissal early since this is only the 5th day that we've done in-person dismissal this year. So I am going to use the rest of the time to finish the anchor chart I started yesterday and hopefully prep my slides for tomorrow. And then just a couple of kind of housekeeping cleaning type things so that I can get out of here a little bit more on time today. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, the day is officially over and I am ready to go home. It was a very long day. We had internet issues earlier. I had a student fall and bump their head pretty hard outside, so had to take them to the nurse and they were sent home early. So hopefully everything's okay with that one. And yeah, I'm just tired and ready to spend a few hours at home. So before I do that, really quickly, I wanted to just mention that today I started giving my students these just really cheap stickers once they finished their work, because some of us are having a hard time completing work. It's part of that transition from being at home and being in school now. So they really liked those. They were something that I already had in my classroom. And yeah, just a tip, if you're looking for something that motivates little ones, stickers are a way to go. Good morning, happy Wednesday. This morning I had a meeting at 8 o'clock, so I'm a little bit rushed. I have about 5 minutes until my students are gonna come in. I'm gonna quickly eat some yogurt, get everything pulled up on the smart board, and get our day started. Hopefully it's another good day. I'm feeling a little bit more rested today, which is good. So fingers crossed. All right, here we go. Repeat after me. Rule number one.
Rule number one.
Follow directions quickly.
Follow directions quickly.
Rule number two.
Rule number two.
Raise your hand for permission to speak.
Raise your hand for permission to speak.
Good job. Here we go. Rule number three.
Rule number three.
Respect yourself.
Respect yourself.
Respect others.
Respect others.
And respect your school.
Respect your school.
Rule number four.
Rule number four.
Make smart choices.
Make smart choices.
Rule number five.
Rule number five.
Keep your dear teacher happy.
Keep your dear teacher happy.
Good job, friends. It is officially the end of another day. So we had a really great day today. My students did a pretty good job of following directions and listening and things like that. We are definitely still having our growing pains of basically being beginning of the year kindergartners in April, but I would say overall it was definitely a success, much better than yesterday. And yeah, I'm really happy with how the day went and just kind of think that it is an upward trend because I really do have a great group of students. So it is currently about 4:40-ish and I'm going to head out here in about 1 minute. I need to drop off some supplies for one of my virtual students, and then I'm going to head home. So I will end today's vlog here, and I will see you in the morning. Happy Thursday. Today is actually our last day of in-person instruction for the week because students are asynchronous on Fridays. So hopefully we can make it a great end to the week. I will kind of walk you through what we're going to do today, and then it's going to be time for my students to come in and get our day started. So today I only really have 2 extra papers. We're working on the sight word up. Again, this is a freebie from Tara West. And then for reading, we are going to work on sight word sentences. We've been talking about the word see. This was one of our very first words that we ever introduced, but it's kind of just a nice refresher. And then they're going to cut out the pictures and glue them here. This is part of Simply Kinder's sight word pack. So those are what we're going to do today. We also have math, and then for social studies, they're going to just be drawing a map of our classroom. So that's all I've got, and hopefully, again, it will go well. We've been working on how to properly use scissors and glue. That was a very hard thing to teach virtual, so I'm glad that we have some in-person time where I can kind of work on those fine motor skills with them. So, all right, I will check in with you later. It is the end of the day. It is about 10 till 5, so I am getting ready to head out and go home. Tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier, the students are asynchronous, so they took their Chromebooks home with them today, and they just have some things to work on, like their Imagine Math, their Imagine Language and Literacy, and then anything that they haven't finished on Seesaw. And I will be in meetings most of the morning, and then I do have some time in the afternoon to prep and plan for next week. So I am going to call it a day. It's another week of concurrent teaching in the books, and I'm happy that we ended on a pretty high note. So we had a really good day today, and at the end of the day, one of my students told me that he loves school. So that makes my heart happy, and I'm glad that they're having fun. It kind of makes the stress and whatnot worth it, I guess. So I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully can get a lot accomplished and kind of put the cap on a pretty good week overall. So see you tomorrow. is currently 10:41. I have been in meetings all morning. We had a building meeting, I had an IEP, and then I have about 19 minutes until there's another PD, and then it will be lunchtime and we kind of have the afternoon for ourselves. So I'm hoping to get a lot accomplished this afternoon. I need to finish my slides for next week, make copies, plan out my reading and my math, that kind of stuff. So we'll see how much I can get done, because I have a rule that I do not do schoolwork on the weekends unless it's something like report cards or conferences, which is not the case this week. So fingers crossed I can get everything on my list completed before 3:15, because that is when we're off on Fridays. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so today after our PD, I ran off some things to hopefully help my last few students learn their letters. So this is from Tara West. It's just capital and lowercase for each letter. And then I also have a packet like this for each of them, where they're going to rainbow write it, trace it, write it with pencil, and find it, and that's A through Z as well. I have 5 students who do not know all of their letters. 2 of them are very, very close. They just need a few more lowercase letters, and then 3 of them are unfortunately nowhere near. So that's who this packet will be for, just to kind of give them some additional practice and to hopefully get them recognizing the majority of their letters. So we have about 7 weeks left in the year, and I'm just kind of crossing my fingers that we can get them there. So we shall see. Hopefully this will help. I do think they do better with pencil and paper tasks. That was one thing that was really lacking while we were virtual. So I'm glad that we can at least supplement their learning with some hands-on things now that we are back in person. So we'll see how it works. Just take you through what I have on their tables in case you're interested to see what I've given them. So as you can see, their table is divided into 3 sections. Each section has one of these on it, just to say that that's not where the child should sit. So they usually just keep their things in the chair that goes there. We have a small mini trash can, and then each student has one of these little houses. And they keep their desk pets in there, which are just those little novelty erasers. So in their basket, they have their math toolkit with all of the things that they would need for math. And then these are name practice sheets. One side is their first name, one side is their last name, just to give them some more handwriting practice. Everything in their math toolkit is from Tara West's Math Toolkit bundle on TPT. So it just has things like number paths, 10 frames, number bonds, that kind of thing. And then I've also put counters and cubes in each kit. That way they all have their own supplies and we do not have to share. end of the week. It is 3:21. I am going to be heading out here in just a minute. I was able to get everything finished that I wanted to this afternoon, so I can officially kind of put my feet up and not worry about school for the weekend. I hope you liked this week's vlog. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you are interested. I hope to see you again soon. Bye, everyone.